there, Laura here from Get Organized HQ, and every year around this time I release a clutter-free gift guide that gives you all sorts of ideas on gifts that you can give that aren't going to cause clutter. This year I thought I'd shake it up and do something different, and I'm just going to tell you what is actually on my wish list. Now, some of these are going to give you great ideas for things to add to your wish list or gifts that you can give for other people, but if you're looking for a lot of those clutter-free ideas, I'd recommend you go check out last year's video. It's still very relevant this year. I'll put that link down below and you can do that. But let's go ahead and dive into what is on my wish list. These are in no particular order. These are just what I actually want. Probably at the top of my wish list, and no, it is not cheap, but I would like the Mach V1 Ultra vacuum cleaner mop combo thing. It is quite a mouthful, but I ran across it recently and it really looks amazing. I've watched several reviews, and it's an upright vacuum, cordless, which is super important to me, and it has vacuum and mopping capabilities together, so you can actually run it and at the same time that it's vacuuming, it's also mopping. Now, this is not a new concept. There's tons of vacuum cleaners out there. There's tons of just upright mops now on the market, and there's some different combo ones. But here's what I love about this one and why this one really caught my eye. First of all, it gets rave reviews about how effective it is. It also, and oh my goodness, I cannot tell you how much I love this, it dries the floor as it goes. So it's got a feature that's going to dry it so you don't have those like wet floors for a long time that are going to get dirty again. It also washes its mop roller as it goes, and then when you put it back on the base, it completely washes that mop roller and dries it. And the drying is critical because you don't want it to get that musty kind of damp smell. So, I mean, then that is taking away even more of the work that I would have to do. It is also the only one on the market that also has a steam feature. So you can turn that on if, as you're vacuuming and mopping, you have something extra sticky that you just want to steam. I personally have a lot of hardwoods, and I wouldn't risk using it on hardwoods. You're technically not supposed to steam hardwoods, although many people say that they do without an issue. I'm just not going to chance it. But I do have some tile in my kitchen, and that's what tends to get the biggest messes and even sticky messes. And I'm like, where on earth did this stickiness come from? So if I had something that I could just grab really fast and steam mop it, that would be amazing, and know that when I put it back on the base, it's going to clean itself. That would be amazing. It also has a little tiny valve where you put in the cleaning solution and it mixes itself so it gets the exact right amount. So it just looks like it would do a great job. And I currently, when I want to mop, I have this Cedar O mop, which I am happy with as a mop, and it is much more affordable. But when I want to mop a small section, like this wouldn't be a daily mop, and when I want to mop a small section, it's a lot of trouble because I have to get out this whole big thing, fill it with water, get some solution in it, mop a little section, wring it out, dump out the dirty water. So I feel like this solution would be so much better. So I will link it down below if you're interested in that. Now, along the same lines, for years I have been considering one of those robot vacuums. I have an entire video on why I don't have a robot vacuum, so I'll link that down below. So this is like slightly lower on my wish list, but over time they've been improving. All of these robot vacuums, they have several that vacuum and mop or vacuum and mop at the same time, and it'll lift the mop head as it goes across carpet so it doesn't get that damp. They're also self-emptying and self-filling, self-cleaning and self-drying of the mop pad, which is really important to me. So we're getting closer to where it really is on autopilot for a long time, and then you could do like a daily vacuum and mop of all of your hard floors, and it will just vacuum your carpets as well. So I'll link to a couple of these that are on my wish list. The problem is, like I said in that video about why I don't have a robot vacuum, I'm a little concerned that they won't fit in between my bar stools, which is my most messy place, so I'd still have to get a vacuum and do that. And then also the ones that do everything and have the bases that like clean themselves and dry themselves and refill and empty, they're obviously very pricey, so that is something to consider, but it is on my wish list as something that I think would be a lot of fun to just try out and see how it goes. Next up, let's talk about the travel category. I would say I have been eyeing these for the last 1 to 2 years, and I have never taken the plunge to purchase them, but they are Cadence travel capsules. So I've seen these ads all over Facebook and Instagram, and they're these little capsules to put like creams and pills, shampoos, conditioners, that kind of thing when you travel in. And they look amazing. They're a hexagon shape, they're magnetic, so they kind of hook to each other. You can get custom images or words printed on the top. It just looks amazingly organized. They're a little bit splurgy. They're gonna cost a lot more than just a little tiny plastic container would, obviously, but I do think that they would last a long time. They just look amazing. I do probably travel on average 3 to 4 times a year or a little bit more, so I think it could be worth it. My biggest hesitation and why I haven't splurged on these for myself yet is that when I really started thinking about it, I realized I don't know what I'd actually put in them. I'm not picky about shampoo or conditioner. I always go to hotels that like have them, so I don't think I would use that a lot. I like my makeup, like my foundation, even my face lotion and face cleanser, I already have in little travel bottles, so it seems like a little bit of extra trouble to squirt it into there, and also it doesn't have a squirt feature. So like on my facial cleanser, for example, it is in a little travel thing and it squirts out, and I kind of like that. So I realized that while in theory it seems amazing to have every single liquid or cream in one of these and it's all matching and stays together nicely, I realized that in reality I would probably have 3 or 4 of the Cadence capsules that look really nice, but I would still have a bunch of other bottles. So I'm not sure how much of the problem that solves, but especially if you have a ton of stuff that you think you would put in there, or you're always decanting into travel bottles, or just want something that looks really cool, definitely check that out. Continuing with our travel theme, there is a lot of different sets of luggage that I have been eyeing recently. Every year we give prizes to our Get Organized HQ virtual speakers, and when I was trying to find prizes for them, I realized I really could use some new luggage. A lot of it is light, hard-sided. Some of it has where you can like plug in to recharge your electronics. Some of them have like separate compartments for your laptop or all sorts of ways inside the suitcase that it organizes. And I just have like a really cheap suitcase from Walmart. So I have away luggage on my wish list, as it would be really fun to upgrade. Also, I want to mention this just as a tip in general. When you're looking to gift somebody a gift that doesn't cause clutter, anytime that you can upgrade something and replace what they already have, you're not causing extra clutter. So what I would do if I got this suitcase is I would literally get this suitcase and then I would pass along my old suitcase. Same might be like, say you get a fancy coffee maker and they already have one. They would pass along their old coffee maker and upgrade it with something new. So this next one is not technically on my wish list because I already own a whole bunch of these, but it's something I've been obsessed with lately and I think would be a phenomenal gift or stocking stuffer for anyone, and it's these little mini notebooks. We sell these in our shop. They were brand new this year, just came out. We have, I think, 5 different designs of them. And they're just so, I'm gonna hold it up next to my iPhone so you can kind of get an idea of the size. So it's not very big. I have one like in my nightstand. So you know those little thoughts that occur as you're going to sleep and you're like, oh my goodness, I can't go to sleep because I gotta jot this down. Open this up, jot that down. I have one in my purse, one by my desk. They just fit everywhere and they're just so perfect for everything. So I've been obsessed with these. I really love baking, and I also, even though I don't like clutter, I love kitchen gadgets and tools, and a new type of mixer has caught my eye. So mixers are always a challenge, and especially when it comes to being able to get the ingredients in and not having stuff fly out at your face. And for years I had a KitchenAid that had this pour shield, but it was such a pain to get out the pour shield, and you had to connect it to each other. And then whenever I wanted to really get in there and scrape, it was pretty much a pain to take the pour shield off. So I was never happy with that. And recently I've noticed this Kenmore Mixer. I think it's called Kenmore Elite. I will link to it down below so you can get the exact thing that I'm talking about. But it has a unique design that I've never seen in a mixer before. I think it's relatively new, but basically the top of the mixer literally has a hole in it over the bowl. So you're pouring things into the center of the bowl and it kind of forms its own pour shield. And then when you lift up the mixer head, now you have full access to the bowl. So you don't have like this shield blocking it. It just looks really cool and really unique, and I would absolutely love to try it out. Lately, I have been obsessed with puzzles. I like doing them, my husband likes them, a lot of times my kids will help me. And my favorite brand is Galison. They have tons of beautiful designs. They have 500 piece, 1,000 piece. Some of my top absolute favorites, the ones that we do all the time, are from there. I also like that they have different levels of challenging. For me, I hate the ones that are just really hard and you're just gonna be like sitting there for 30 minutes before you find a piece. I like ones that are more doable. Like there's lots of different colors and textures and I can actually make some good progress. They have a lot in that category, and also not all puzzles are made equal. If you do a lot of puzzles, these have good pieces that really fit together well and are sturdy. You can pass them along. So I have several of those on my wish list and I will link to those down below. I probably discovered that this thing, I did not even know it existed. You may not know it exists either, about 3 years ago. And I have wanted one ever since, but it's just not the kind of thing that you typically splurge for yourself on. So if you're looking for a splurge for someone who maybe has everything already, it's consumable, so it's definitely not gonna cause clutter. It is a cookie dough subscription. Believe it or not, there's even more than one of these that you can get in the US. You can probably get them in other countries as well. And literally every month, edible cookie dough arrives at your door. And I mean, who doesn't love cookie dough? Like when I make cookies, and you're not supposed to, I snack on the dough a little bit. And so this gives you fully safe, edible cookie dough and all different flavors. And I also feel like it's something that would last because while I have a major sweet tooth, I can only eat a little bit of cookie dough at a time. So I feel like it's something that would last me like all month until the next one came in. So I will link to a couple of my favorites that I have noticed down below. And if anyone has actually tried these, I don't know anyone has actually tried it, leave a comment down below. I would love to know what your experience is and if you liked it. Now, I mentioned earlier that every year we gift a lot of things to the speakers at Get Organized HQ Virtual. This year we shook things up and they were able to choose some of their own gifts and prizes. And one of the things that tons of people chose that surprised us were these fuzzy slippers from Amazon. They're not even very expensive. And because I know everyone else now has them and I've seen them so much, I really want these, especially as it's starting to get colder here. And I mean, who doesn't love a good pair of fuzzy slippers? Now, one of the last things that I need, and something that I have not bought for myself in well over a year, I think I've said this in previous videos and I have stuck to it, are pens. I mean, I love every kind of pin there is. I've reviewed pins. I have a lot of them. On my wish list right now are the Papermate Flairs. They have these beautiful sets. Oh, and in back to school time, I know we're past that. Oh, you know, those Target aisles, those office supply aisles, amazing. But those thick, juicy Papermate Flairs that are like a felt tip marker, they come in beautiful colors. Absolutely love those. And I will also say this pin is a close runner up. Obviously it's not on my wish list because I already own it, but the Frixion Pens, and I didn't realize this for Frixion, they now have these kind that like pop out, you know, like a regular pin. I love the colors, they write so well. And the cool thing about Frixion that you may not know, it's spelled Frixion, are that they can erase, and they truly do erase. So if you pair one of these little mini notebooks, and I like this one because this is like a light purple and this is like a dark purple, and when I'm writing in here, I can erase. It's amazing. So this is another great pen if you're looking for a gift idea, like a set of this and this would make a beautiful gift. I have one more. I'll call this an honorable mention because I am already a subscriber to this, but if I were not, it would definitely be on my list, and that is the Chalk Couture Club. It is a monthly subscription. Now, I like crafting a lot, but in recent years, I have tons of things going on. I mean, I have 2 kids, I have a business, I just have a lot of things, and so I haven't had nearly as much time to really craft. And so this is a craft that is like quick and easy, but actually useful, because another problem I've had, and if you're a crafter, you probably understand, is that you love making all these things and then what on earth do you do with them? Like you've run out of people to give them to, but this is home decor. It comes with, I think it's technically a silk screen. You rub the chalk paste over it, you lift it up, and voila, you have a beautiful design. And the thing I love about this subscription is it is self-contained. It is everything you need. It's very affordable. It comes with 1 transfer and I believe 3 little paste packets. So once you use them, you don't have to store them or anything like that. You can put them on whatever surface you want. You can buy surfaces from the company. They have lots of different chalkboards and little wooden surfaces, or you could just go find something at Hobby Lobby, or a lot of people, I think this is brilliant, use recycled things. Like you might be able to go to Goodwill or use an old frame or something like that and create this decor to put in your home, and then you're not left with a bunch of clutter. So there you have it. That's what's on my wish list this year. And if you want some good clutter-free gift ideas, I highly recommend that you watch my clutter-free gift guide, which I will be linking down below.